1. The Zodiac Killer. Between the late 1960s and early 1970s, a serial killer who dubbed himself the Zodiac terrorized the San Francisco Bay Area. The Zodiac claimed responsibility for 5 murders, although he hinted in letters sent to newspapers that he had killed as many as 37 people. These letters contained cryptograms, some of which remain unsolved to this day. Despite numerous suspects over the years, the killer's identity remains unknown, leaving the case one of the most infamous unsolved crimes in U.S. history. The Zodiac's taunting nature and the chilling randomness of his attacks gripped the nation and inspired numerous books and films. 2. The JonBenét Ramsey Case. On December 26, 1996, 6-year-old beauty queen JonBenét Ramsey was found murdered in the basement of her family's home in Boulder, Colorado. A ransom note demanding $118,000 had been left behind, but suspicions arose over the nature of the note and the family's behavior. While JonBenét's parents and brother were initially scrutinized, no one has ever been formally charged. The media frenzy surrounding the case, coupled with the bizarre circumstances, has led to endless speculation. Theories range from family involvement to intruder hypotheses, yet the case remains unsolved. 3. Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy is one of the most infamous serial killers in American history, known for his charm and good looks, which allowed him to lure his victims with ease. From 1974 to 1978, Bundy raped and murdered at least 30 women across 7 states. He often pretended to be injured to gain sympathy, tricking his victims into helping him before attacking them. His escape from custody in 1977, during which he committed more murders, further shocked the public. Bundy was executed in 1989, but his ability to evade detection and the brutality of his crimes left a lasting mark on the American psyche. 4. The O.J. Simpson Trial. The murder of Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ron Goldman in 1994 became a cultural phenomenon due to the involvement of former football star O.J. Simpson. The televised trial, often called the trial of the century, was closely followed by millions around the world. Simpson was acquitted in 1995, but the trial divided public opinion on issues of race, fame, and the criminal justice system. Although O.J. Simpson was later found liable for the deaths in a civil trial, the case remains one of the most debated legal battles in modern history. 5. Jack the Ripper. In 1888, a serial killer known as Jack the Ripper brutally murdered at least 5 women in London's Whitechapel district. The victims were all poor women, and their bodies were horrifically mutilated. The killer's taunting letters to the police and the media, coupled with the lack of modern forensic tools, made it impossible to capture him. Despite a slew of theories over the years, including suspects ranging from royal family members to famous artists, Jack the Ripper's identity has never been confirmed, cementing his place as one of history's most notorious criminals. 6. The Manson Family Murders. Charles Manson was the mastermind behind a series of brutal killings in Los Angeles in 1969, carried out by his followers, known as the Manson family. Manson's followers, acting under his orders, murdered 7 people over 2 nights, including actress Sharon Tate, who was 8 months pregnant. Manson convinced his followers that the murders were part of a race war he called Helter Skelter, inspired by a Beatles song. The murders sent shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond, with Manson becoming the face of cult violence in America. Manson and several of his followers were convicted and sentenced to life in prison. 7. The Chris Watts Family Murders. In August 2018, Chris Watts reported that his pregnant wife, Sean Ann, and their 2 daughters, Bella and Celeste, were missing. What initially appeared to be a case of a missing family quickly unraveled when Watts confessed to their murders. Watts had strangled his wife and smothered his daughters before disposing of their bodies at an oil field where he worked. The case became infamous due to Watts' chilling behavior. He appeared on TV making emotional pleas for their return, all while knowing he had murdered them. The case highlighted issues of domestic violence and the hidden lives some lead. 8. The Amanda Knox Case. In 2007, British student Meredith Kercher was found murdered in the apartment she shared with American student Amanda Knox in Perugia, Italy. Knox, along with her then-boyfriend Rafael Solicito, was quickly arrested and charged with the murder. The case garnered massive international attention due to conflicting forensic evidence and the portrayal of Knox in the media. After spending 4 years in an Italian prison, Knox was acquitted, only to face retrial and acquittal again. The case remains controversial, with many questioning the Italian justice system and how the media influences high-profile cases. 9. The Moors murders. Between 1963 and 1965, Ian Brady and Myra Hindley lured, sexually assaulted, and murdered 5 children in England, burying their bodies in the desolate Saddleworth Moor. The Moors murders shocked the nation not only because of the brutality of the crimes but also due to the involvement of Hindley, a woman, in such sadistic acts. Brady and Hindley were sentenced to life in prison. Their heinous crimes, often portrayed in British media as the epitome of evil, have left a dark stain on the country's criminal history. 10. The Lindbergh baby kidnapping. In 1932, Charles Lindbergh Jr., the 20-month-old son of the famous aviator Charles Lindbergh, was abducted from the family's New Jersey home. A ransom note demanding $50,000 was found, but despite the payment being made, the baby's body was discovered a few weeks later, just miles from the Lindbergh estate. The case led to the conviction and execution of Bruno Hauptmann, but many questions remain about whether he acted alone or was wrongfully convicted. The crime shocked the world and led to the passage of the Lindbergh Law, making kidnapping a federal offense. 11. The disappearance of Madeleine McCann. In May 2007, Madeleine McCann, a 3-year-old British girl, disappeared from her family's vacation apartment in Praia da Luz, Portugal. Despite extensive investigations, no trace of her has ever been found, and the case remains unsolved. The media frenzy surrounding the case, combined with the numerous suspects and theories, including abduction, child trafficking, and accidental death, have made the disappearance of Madeleine McCann one of the most well-known missing persons cases in modern history. The case has drawn international attention and continues to capture the public's interest. 12. The Killer Clown John Wayne Gacy. John Wayne Gacy, one of America's most notorious serial killers, was convicted of murdering at least 33 young men between 1972 and 1978. Gacy, who often performed as a clown at children's parties, lured his victims to his home where he would sexually assault, torture, and kill them. Gacy buried many of his victims in the crawl space beneath his home. His crimes were particularly shocking because of his role as a respected community member and his public persona as a family man. Gacy was executed by lethal injection in 1994. 13. The Green River Killer. Gary Ridgway, also known as the Green River Killer, was responsible for the deaths of at least 49 women, many of whom were prostitutes or runaways, in Washington state from the early 1980s until his arrest in 2001. Ridgway evaded capture for nearly 2 decades, and when finally caught, he confessed to more murders, making him one of the most prolific serial killers in U.S. history. Ridgway's ability to evade justice for so long and his remorselessness during his trial stunned the nation. 14. The Brinks Armored Car Robbery. On January 17, 1950, a gang of criminals pulled off one of the most audacious heists in U.S. history, stealing $2.7 million from a Brinks armored car depot in Boston. The gang, who meticulously planned the robbery for over a year, evaded capture for 6 years, despite leaving very few clues. The heist was one of the largest at the time, and when the criminals were finally caught, it inspired numerous movies and books. The robbery, known for its precision and daring, continues to fascinate crime enthusiasts. 15. The Black Dahlia Murder. The 1947 murder of aspiring actress Elizabeth Short, dubbed the Black Dahlia, shocked Los Angeles. Short's mutilated body was discovered in a vacant lot, cut in half and drained of blood. The gruesome nature of the crime, combined with the media sensationalism surrounding Short's life, has made the case infamous. Despite numerous suspects and confessions over the years, the murder remains unsolved, leading to speculation and conspiracy theories that persist to this day.